Hello and welcome to our Monday afternoon broadcast. Thank you so much. If you're jumping on live with us, please take a second to hit that subscribe button and or that like button if you are on Facebook. Always make sure you are set up for notifications as well so that we do go live or we upload new content, you will be notified. Today we are going to be talking about fasting and the energized sense of calm, and I'll be sharing a little bit about what it is we experience in our course with the energized sense of calm and why that is so important to us. If you're jumping on the rebroadcast, I also ask that you please make sure that you leave a comment so that I know that you were here. I understand not everyone can catch us live, so I always appreciate the fact that you are willing to jump on after we post this as a video. For my live viewers today, please leave a comment in the comment section if you have experienced the energized sense of calm and what that has done for you. I want to be able to share some of those experiences after I talk about it and we get into the live chat portion of this broadcast. So if you're jumping on new, my name is Diane and I have been helping women find nutrition plans and fitness programs to help them look and feel their best and live their most authentic life. Here in this community, we are doing that through the practice of intermittent fasting and creating a lifestyle that really does help us look and feel our best. We are going to talk today about fasting and the energized sense of calm. And more specifically, I want to talk about intermittent fasting. So that is fasting within a window that is geared around a 24-hour time frame. You have a fasting window and you have a feasting window. And what we experience in the course that I teach called Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman is that sense of being energized yet being calm. So we've all experienced a feeling of maybe an abundance of energy, or maybe we felt jittery or amped out, and you get that sort of fight or flight type of feeling, or you feel jittered or anxious and you don't know what to do sometimes with that energy. You can get it from like maybe over caffeinating or maybe having too much sugar or whatever it is. You have just that need to like burn off energy, so to speak. And you might feel a little bit maybe cloudy in your brain or unsure of what you're supposed to be doing with that, or you're not sure about that feeling that you have. And that's really what I call just being amped out. And it often can come from something that you're doing as a stimulant. So it's more of a stimulant effect than a true like natural source of energy. What we are experiencing in this community and what we experience in the course that I teach and what I really strive to get every member to is what we call the energized sense of calm. And the energized sense of calm happens when your body is no longer relying on outside sources to energize it. So you're not needing caffeine, you're not needing any kind of stimulant, and you're not even needing any new caloric intake. So you're not having to even take in any food to get energized. It is really a naturally occurring thing that happens in your body once your body is in a clean fasted state and you start to become a little bit more fat adaptive and you're less dependent, or more specifically, you're less addicted to sugar as that thing that's going to boost you and get you started on your day. So that's the energized part. The sense of calm comes from, again, not necessarily needing any sort of stimulant or any sugar or carbs to get you up and moving. And the calmness comes from the cleanse and or the detoxification that occurs in your body when it's able to actually go in and tap into some of those energy reserves that we have packed away, aka fat, or some of the sludge that we have in our system that's making us sick. Our body can actually utilize that past experience with caloric intake and use it as a new calorie or energy source. And because it's not coming from sugar, it is coming from a fat source or a reserve on your body, it gives your brain this sense of calm that is like there's nothing else like it, like literally. And I think it's because you're not stimulated. It is literally your body's natural resources being utilized to fuel everything in your system, including your brain. And because this happens due to a long period of time in a fasted state, there are really no intolerances, or there's no substances, for lack of a better word, that are going to get in the way of your brain working at its best and just firing away at its just the best ability that your brain can actually work at. And it gives you this sense of calm because you're not stimulated and you're not agitated or anxious. You have this sense of peace about you that I think most women especially don't even realize that we have the ability to achieve or tap into. So you can go about your day being busy, you can accomplish tasks, you can get things done around your house, you can perform well at like board meetings at work, you can be at the top of your game on some project that you're doing, or whatever it is that you do in the course of your day. Mentally and emotionally, you're even and you're sharp, but physically your body comes along with all the energy that it needs to just sustain whatever it is you have to get through. And it's a very magical place to live. I know there are so many women in our community who have done some phenomenal things since they've been tapping into the energized sense of calm. I know Michael and I, when we first tapped into it and we coined the phrase here in this community, we walked around our house like almost giggling about it, like this should be something that should be illegal. And if someone had a way to like actually encapsulate this and put it in a bottle and sell it, they would probably, you know, make a fortune off of it, because it is the best feeling in the world and it's free. Like, you don't have to purchase it. You don't have to go out and buy anything. You don't have to read warning labels. There's no side effects to it that are negative. It's just what your body knows how to do. It's what your body is really designed to do naturally for you. It's how we survive. But we're doing it in a way that's so controlled and is so beneficial to us in so many other areas of our life that everything about it is just positive. And you can literally jump in and out of the energized sense of calm once you know the tips and tricks to get yourself there. And that really is the primary focus of the first week of our intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman course, is to get you confident enough to get your body into the energized sense of calm, and to do fasting in a way where you have the ability to tap into all the amazing benefits that it has to offer. So many times women are seeking out intermittent fasting for purely the weight loss benefits of what it can bring. And honestly, the weight loss benefits are usually the last thing that we have occur when we're fasting and feasting well, because your body doesn't prioritize healing in that way. Yes, we will eventually lose weight, and we know now that weight loss is the result of hormonal balance and a body that's functioning at its best. And that really is what happens in the process of learning how to fast and feast correctly. And what we end up seeing is so many other physical and mental and emotional changes taking place that once you get inside the course, you lose sight of that weight loss goal that you have, because now your body is not aching and paining anymore, because now you have energy that you've never had before. Now you have mental clarity that you thought was gone. And trust me, I know, because I was there. I thought I was literally, and not even exaggerating, I thought I was losing my mind. And all of those things that I depend on my mind for started to come back once I started living in that energized sense of calm. So it really is that place that once you feel so amazing and you no longer have to have things like at arm's reach to get you through your day, you're not going to panic in mid-afternoon when you start to have an energy slump because you need your coffee or your sugar, or what it was for me was a Diet Coke and a bag of goldfish. You don't need those things anymore, because everything for you is sustained. You don't have energy highs and you don't have energy lows. You just stay in an energized sense of calm throughout your fasting period. And yes, once you learn the tips and tricks of how to get there, you can tap into it and you can tap out of it whenever you want. It is absolutely the best place to live. And the reason, like I said in the beginning, we get this energized sense of calm is because our body is no longer depending on us to make decisions on how to fuel ourselves, right? Our body is going to go in and find the fuel that it prefers, and it's going to go in and find the resources that it functions the best on, and your body is going to be able to utilize that. And that's really where we get that level sense of energy and that calm and peaceful feeling in our brain, because we no longer are living in that scattered feeling of, I don't know where I'm going to get at my next meal, or am I going to make the right choice, or if you eat something that your body can't really break down and utilize properly, it's going to take you into that deep dive and that deep low, and you really do avoid that when you're in the energized sense of calm. So if you've been in my course before, I'm going to ask that you please leave a comment in the comment section and describe a little bit about what the energized sense of calm was like for you and how that's made you feel, and what kind of confidence that has given you to move on about your life as an intermittent faster, and especially as an intermittent faster and an aging woman. I think it's just an amazing place for us to be able to live, and I wanted to talk about it this week, especially because it is Valentine's week, and I know Valentine's Day can be that thing that either we really look forward to or we absolutely dread, and I want to make sure that we as women are really taking the time to love ourselves and do the things that we need to do to take care of ourselves first, regardless of what anybody else is doing for us or to us, or whatever it is, however it is you want to describe that. We really do have the power to love ourselves first. And I think the best place to start practicing that is in that energized sense of calm. When you do feel confident and you do feel energized in your own skin, and when your brain has the ability to really just cleanse itself out and start thinking a little bit more rationally about how it is you're going about your day and the choices that you are making in your life. And I think once we get to that place as women, and we feel empowered in the state of hungry, and we feel energized in that state of knowing that we are doing the best for ourselves, then we really can live our lives in that state of pure joy and happiness about how it is we are and who it is we are, and we can start letting other people come in and love us in that same way, and then we can give love out in the same way as well, because we already know how to do it, because we're doing it with ourselves first. And I know as a wife and a mom and a businesswoman and all the roles that we play as women, we can often forget the most important person to love first is us. And then we can go on and love and take care of other people. And so we end up beating ourselves down. We end up getting ourselves sick. And I think sometimes we need to slow down and just ask ourselves, are we taking care of ourselves the way that we need to? And the best thing that we know about in this community is to do absolutely nothing for a good amount of your time, and just embrace what power and what energy and what clarity that can bring to us, and then how we can pay that forward into our day. So I'm going to go in and hopefully read some of your amazing comments that you left in the comment section, sharing what it is that you're feeling as an energized sense of calm woman. And then I'll go on to YouTube, and I'm going to start here on Facebook and read some of the comments that we have here. Amy, thanks for jumping on with us. She's been in the course since 2017. I know she knows what energized sense of calm is. Yeah, and working out in an energized sense of calm is absolutely amazing as well. There's no better feeling than really being able to tap into those energy resources that our body is fully capable of producing on its own, and getting a really nice clean workout there. Jennifer, fasting has completely changed my life. It is where I have done all of my physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. And yes, I feel deeply at peace while also feeling ready to deal with whatever life throws at me. Yeah, that's absolutely true, Jennifer. And I'm glad that you talked about all three phases of healing that we go through. We really do need to concentrate a lot on that emotional and spiritual healing as well, and mental healing. So there's probably really four. And the physical healing comes when all of those other things are dealt with in a more positive way as well, and probably even, I would have to say, in a more controlled way. We often go about fixing things that are going on with us in a healing state, in a desperate and panicked way, and we never really consider the emotional, the mental, and even, yes, the spiritual aspect of healing. And I think when we have those three things really dealt with and healed, we can really tackle the physical part on a much more sensible level, and can really get to some of that really deep healing, because we're going to do it with a good sense of who we are and what it is that we want to have for ourselves, and a good sense of rationale for the goals that we're setting for ourselves as well. So Jennifer, thank you for pointing that out. Christina, welcome. Catherine, yes, but it was a little while after I started fasting. Yeah. And Catherine, sometimes it does take a little bit of time to get that sense of what the energized sense of calm can really do for us. And that's because your body's healing, and you have to get rid of a lot of that backup that we have in our system that's making us sick in the first place. So for me, it took about I don't know, like within a year's time frame. It didn't happen for me immediately, and a lot of that had to do with the fact that I was fasting incorrectly and still was holding on to a lot of those emotional love affairs that I had with certain foods that I wasn't willing to give up. And that was the mental and emotional healing part of it that I really had to deal with, and trying to figure out like why it is I was making those things in my feast so much more important than me as a woman being healthy and energized. And so I think the sooner you can come to grips with some of those things and let go of some of the past things that you have, and the reasons why you hold on to food so tightly, then you can kind of get to that healing state a little bit faster. And it is a process of healing in all different levels, and for sure. And then once you get to that energized sense of calm, it's amazing. And I know for me, being a pre-diabetic and very insulin resistant, that I had to work through all of that cellular backup as well before my body could actually get into that fat adaptive state. So that took a little while for me also. Donna, checking in from Chicago, welcome. Kristen, welcome from Washington. Marshall from Maine. Who else we got here today? Do you eat fish? Christine is asking. Yeah, I do. Right now I'm kind of cutting back on a lot of animal protein in general. So we had dinner last night. I was sharing with someone who I had a consult call with this morning, that last night for dinner I had a huge serving of asparagus, a huge serving of broccoli, and about this much salmon on my plate, and it was perfect. So I don't have anything against meat personally, for me, or fish even. I am just at this phase in my life really cutting back on anything that's not plant-based. So that's always just a personal preference for sure. Diane from snowy Pennsylvania. Oh, girlfriend, it's gray and cold and wet here, so I feel you for sure. Terry checking in, frozen, foggy north. I know, I think it's everywhere. Tina from California, she's probably doing fantastic with California weather, hopefully. Christina, I always feel tired and sluggish, no energy. Oftentimes if you're feeling tired and sluggish, it's probably what you're doing in your feasting window. It's usually never doing what you're doing in your fasting window, as long as you are fasting correctly. So I would go back and check what you're doing in your fasting and your feasting windows for sure. Tina, been doing IF since the fall of 2017. It is amazing feeling to have that energized calm. I wish I had it more, but that's why I'm taking the refresher course to get my routine back on track. Yeah, and sometimes it's just coming back to the reality of what you're doing again in those windows. And as we heal and as we loosen up our bootstraps a little bit and we get a little bit comfortable and we fall back into, what everybody else is doing in life, it is easy to kind of pick up some old habits or some bad habits again. So coming back through and refreshing and really digging back into what it was you were doing. And this is why I always really emphasize using your fasting journal and guide that you get in your course, is go back and see what you were doing when you were feeling and experiencing the energized sense of calm, and then just go back and just replicate that, and you'll get it right back for sure. So Tina, proud of you for coming back in for sure. Ingrid, hello. Donna, I can meditate much deeper now. Yeah, there you go. Probably because your brain is not being distracted by a bunch of clutter in it, and you've lifted off that fog. So you will get a nice deep sense of what you're doing in your meditation, and that's why a lot of people fast for spiritual reasons as well. They get a nice deep spiritual connection when they're in a fasted state, and that's just because, again, you're not being pulled in a bunch of directions by a bunch of stimulants, and your body is just using its own resources. So it is a really great place for healing for sure. Sheila, after just a few days of IF, I experienced a sense of calmness. My brain fog lifted, energized, and I feel more in control of my emotions and clarity than I have before. are. Yes, that is absolutely true, Sheila. And thanks for bringing up the emotional part of it as well. I know we've had women go through the course who've had some pretty big life events happen to them, and the ability they had to respond and react to those situations because they could be in an energized sense of calm. They really did notice how, you know, before they would have reacted in a completely different way, and now that they are just calmer and more energized, and I think I'm even going to be able to say even more level-headed. Like, you just approach situations so much differently because you're not constantly firing off some false sense of what we're supposed to be doing with our emotions, and everything is really back to that reset level, which is where we should be functioning from every day. Imagine if the world was fasting, like how much more peace we would have, and how we could probably tolerate each other so much better if we weren't always just on that edge, right, of just reactionary mode and dealing with emotions that are part of being hormonally imbalanced. So the more hormonally balanced we are, the more we can also handle our emotions. So Sheila, congratulations to you. Spiritual healing for sure. Diane, man, I am so focused in the energized sense of calm. Yeah, for sure. It's almost like you don't want to like give it up. It's so good. But the thing you have to know is that you can jump right back into it the next fast you start. So once you know how to do it, it's a really cool gift to have. Tina, I never forget you saying that you were one bag of potato chips away from your goal, and that's what was holding you back. That's been in my head since the beginning. And I didn't say it to me. My husband said it to me in a very loving way, said to me, Di, and I think he said a couple bags. He said, you're like a couple bag of potato chips away from having your dream body or something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's so right. You know, and let's talk about some of the things that we do and we justify, right? So when we're in our feast, like we all want to have those, you know, keto-like desserts, and we all want to have our chocolate, and we all want to have our wine, and we all want to have our popcorn. And there's really nothing that you have to give up if it's really what you love. But you can't, and this is the stone cold truth, you cannot have it all. You cannot eat snacky, super fun, high calorie, low nutrient foods and have a dream body. Like, you just can't. Like, no one can pull that trick off. So you have to come to a point in your life where you have to make some decisions. Do you want to eat these things because they make you happy and they make you feel like you're living an authentic life? Or do you want to have a Sports Illustrated bikini body? Like, you have to like make some judgments. And I bet, because I'm the same woman as all of you, is that if I look back on pictures of myself in my 30s and I think, oh my gosh, I would give anything to have that body, I have to watch what I say, because I wouldn't give anything to have that body in my 30s. In my 30s, I was single. I had no kids. I was working 2 jobs. I was going to school. I didn't eat very well, and I overexercised. Like, I would not want any of those 6 things back. I love my kids. I love my life. I love being married. I love being a mom. I love that I have a very balanced and full life right now. And I don't want to give any of that up to have what I had 30 years ago. 20 years ago. I almost dated myself as a 60-year-old. 20 years ago. So be careful with where your reference points are as well, and what it is you really want for yourself today. And then you have to kind of make some choices around that for sure. There's nothing wrong with a bag of potato chips or some potato chips, but you have to think about the frequency in which you have them, and are those getting you to your goals for sure. So thanks, Tina, for bringing that up, for sure, for reminding me I need to make sure I'm not too many bags of chips in. I don't keeping myself away from what I want to have for myself. Jody from South Dakota, meant to tune in sooner. Dang it. Oh, that's okay, girlfriend. It's recorded. Alicia, I am just starting to dabble in IF and would like to know more about how to do it correctly. I know that it could help me with my MS and hypothyroidism. It will absolutely help you for sure. Alicia, there's a link in the comment section where you can find more information, or if you go to my website, which is agingwoman.com. You can sign up for our email list, and you can also check out some course information there as well. I would highly recommend jumping in our course for sure. Wendy from California here. Welcome, girlfriend. There is a new class starting in March. You should do it. It was life-changing. Yeah, thanks for saying that, Tina, for sure. Karen from Florida, today was a 24-hour fast, my second time doing this, and I love my sense of calm. Yeah, for sure. I'm started watching her on YouTube videos. I joined her course in January. Let's see. Sheila is saying that her rheumatoid arthritis is more under control, and so are her hormones. I also lost 20 pounds. So there you go. Sheila started doing it in January, lost 20 pounds. Arthritis and hormones are definitely in control. So congratulations, Sheila, and thank you so much for sharing that. And then Lori, such a cute puppy. Love those curls. Thanks so much. Yeah, she's super sweet. And she knows exactly when I go live, and she comes right in the room and she stands over on the side. So she's my partner in crime for sure. Aline, now fasting, changing my energy levels. Yeah, for sure. Keep fasting, it just gets better. Ms. Mitchell, I've experienced the energized sense of calm and love how it makes me feel, especially towards the end of my fast. Yes, and that's really where you want to feel it, and that's where you're gonna really start tapping into it. It's why sometimes it's hard to let it go, because you are definitely in that state of glycogen depletion, and you're really able to tap into that fat adaptive state. So enjoy that, and that's why we try to fast long in our 24-hour period for sure. Kathleen is in the house, girlfriend. Yes, energized sense of calm for sure. Way more energy, more positive mind, and no sickness since last November, December grad. Good for you, Kathleen. Yeah, Kathleen, you're doing wonderful things for sure. Darlene from Georgia, enjoying the February class. Have definitely experienced the energized sense of calm that comes from doing nothing. Absolutely. And our motto last year was do nothing and embrace everything. And we had lots of women who were able to really tap into that tagline that we used last year. And this year's is level up. So we are leveling up on some things this year for sure. But it's amazing that when you're not bogged down by when you're supposed to eat your next meal, you're constantly not having to go to the store, you're not constantly having to eat, like how much time you have. And then when you're energized and you have a sense of calm, like you literally have the opportunity to do whatever it is you could do in your life, which is why our goal setting course is such a great accompanying course to the intermittent fasting for today's aging woman course, because you'll realize when you go through a goal setting process, like, oh, now I have time, now I have resources, now I have mental clarity, now I have all these things I was lacking before when I wasn't able to set and achieve big goals for yourself. When the world opens up to you and the possibilities of you being able to do whatever it is you want, because now you have all the things to get it done, all you need now is a system. So if you're looking for a way to really start tapping into some of those goals, now that you have the energy and the resources and the time, jump into the goal setting course for sure. It'll really be a nice way to kickstart some things for you. Lean, good for you. Roxy, hello, energetic people. Rebecca from Northern California. Roxy from Belgium. Welcome, girlfriend. Megan, 25 weeks in and feeling good, down 10 pounds, which was what I was wanting from this program. Thanks for always reminding me that you are there for support. Oh, Megan, for sure. I'm always here for you. Got your back, girlfriend. And congratulations for sticking it out and getting that weight loss that comes with time and consistency through healing your body. So I'm super proud of you. Roxy, IF combined with keto works super for me. 6 kilograms less in 1 month, and I'm not that much overweight. Good for you, girlfriend. That's probably a lot of inflammation that eventually leads to disease and breakdown. So you're on the right track for healing for sure. Diane, hello, just tuning in. Going to work for a night shift. Interesting topic. My level of emotions are nicely balanced now for 4 weeks into intermittent fasting. Thumbs up. Awesome, girlfriend. And as a night shift worker, that's a really good thing to be able to control and have that energized sense of calm, because you are kind of going against the grain of what, you know, we really need to be in a calm, peaceful state with working night shifts. So tap into that and use that as a tool for yourself for sure. Roxy, my doctor wants me to eat small meals all day long, not telling her what I am doing. Good for you, girlfriend. Roberta, I'm down a few pounds since I started experimenting with the fasting a couple weeks before the course started. Good for you, girlfriend. That gives you a nice little sense of confidence when you jump into the course, and yeah, it'll give you that good head start to get to the energized sense of calm. Christina, August 2017 grad, and have been doing a lot of experimenting with my fasting lately. Glad to catch you live. Good for experimenting. Patricia, just learning about IF, started this week. Good. Sonia, 2017 grad, You feel so much lighter and not weighed down from foods you're eating that make you, that your body can't process. Yeah, and I think that's where the energized sense of calm comes in. You described it beautifully. You're not weighed down, and you just feel light about your step and about how you go about your day. So thanks for that definition and explanation there. Jeannie, North Dakota is 12 above zero today, and we are happy. Took a break from fasting over the weekend and not as energetic. Yeah, you'll get it back. Just get a nice, good, long, clean fast in, and girlfriend, your energized sense of calm will come right back. Jacqueline, hey, the gluten thing was foot pain from the other day. Blows my mind. Yeah, Jacqueline, you're suffering from the same thing my husband suffered from. Gluten, it causes all kinds of crazy things that you would never connect to something as simple as some pasta or a piece of bread or some processed something or other. So getting gluten out of your life and just testing it is worth your time and effort. And if you don't feel any different, then maybe it's not gluten and you just put it back in. But it will never, ever be a waste of your time to test something out. So good for you for giving that a test. She says she's had pain in her foot ever since she was 18 years old. I'm planning to do a test. Yeah, so do a gluten. What you want to do is do a celiac test first and then do a gluten sensitivity test. And then here's some advice on testing for things like that. If you do a gluten sensitivity test and they say, oh no, you don't have any problem with gluten, but if you stop eating gluten and your pain in your foot goes away, trust your body more than you trust a test. Don't let a test negate what you feel and what you've connected to taking something out and how you feel. So celiac test first, because if you are a celiac, you want to make sure that you abide by the celiac guidelines. If you have an intolerance, then you know that connection is for real. If you don't have an intolerance but your foot pain is gone when you take out gluten, go with what your body is telling you. It will never ever lie to you, for sure. Jeannie, no swimsuit body but energy to care for my kids. There you go, girlfriend. And your kids will appreciate you for that when you are present and energized with and for them. Jacqueline, maybe it's also making the brain fog stick around. Are you the gluten? Yeah, gluten will fog your. Read the grain, is that what it's called? I think the grain book. I have it on my shelf over there. It's called the Brain book. Your girlfriend, if you read that book, you will never eat a sandwich again. It's some scary stuff. And what I suggest when you read a book like that is just read the book and then take out of it what applies to you. But if it seems like you're having problems with gluten, then you are having problems with gluten. Don't try to read between the lines on that one, for sure. Mora, I love when I fast, but I do have setbacks. We just redid our kitchen and it was so stressful. I'm not fasting as much. I plan to kick butt starting next Monday. There you go, girlfriend. As soon as your kitchen is done, if your kitchen's done on Friday, start Saturday or Friday night. So as soon as you can get that back under control, jump back in, girlfriend, and reach out if you need help. Christina, sense of calm, did a 24-hour fast yesterday, going to church in the AM, taking my daughter 1.5 hours away to a gymnastics meet and not breaking the fast until after the meet. Good for you, girlfriend. And don't buy any of that snack bar food at the cheer places or the gymnastics places. We used to have to take our daughter to those things, and you want to stay away from those for sure. So fasting is a great opportunity there. Sarah, suggestions on when to eat carbs when your exercise time period is around 5 p.m. and you start your fast at 6 p.m. Yes, but I can't do it right here. It'll take too much time. The dog is super cute. I'm combining intermittent fasting with Weight Watchers. Yeah, I would say, Ann, whatever works for you. If that system works for you, then I would say always go for what works, for sure. See if we have any more comments here. Jane, thanks for checking in. Michelle, yes, I'm in the goal setting course and it all works together. Yeah, fantastic. It is a perfect marriage of healing and then knowing what to do with the extra resources that you have. So that's why we really have combined those two courses together. And the goal setting course, I love how we have it set up now. You can jump in anytime. So definitely take advantage of that for sure. Pamela from Tampa, Florida. Sheila, plus I'm not buying a lot of extra food or worrying about what I'm going to eat. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Tina, I just have to say that I can't even imagine eating breakfast anymore. I do enjoy my occasional brunch on the weekends, but the times I've had breakfast, I feel so uncomfortable, and I really need those additional 6 fasting hours to feel clean before I eat. Yeah, for sure. And you know what? It's just nice to just start your day and not have to do anything but drink some water and not have to prepare a bunch of food and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it is very freeing for sure. Sheila, I was able to watch my 2-year-old grandson the last 4 days with a ton of energy. If I had done this before IF, I wouldn't have been able to keep up with him. Win-win. Sheila, that makes my heart feel so good. As Michael and I always say that, our goal for living this lifestyle and paying it forward and sharing it with other people is we're doing it for our unborn grandkids. I have a 12-year-old and an 18-year-old. Those unborn grandkids are probably far in our future. And we want to be able to say what you just said so beautifully, Sheila, is we want to have the energy to be able to be with our grandkids. And we want to be those kind of grandparents that are super hands-on. And that is our big, big, big goal for why it is that we're doing this. And then Michael and I, he's like months away from retiring. Like, we want to be able to have a really fun second half of our life together as a married couple and be able to do all the things that we've dreamt about doing now that we have the time and the resources to do them. And so we're doing it for that reason as well. So thanks for sharing that for sure. Okay, so our next intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman course is March 2nd. Registration is open. We weren't going to have a March course, but we got so many private messages and so many emails begging us to please have a course. There were people who have been waiting on the sidelines, watching for a long time, and it just ended up being a better time for them. So we will go ahead and accommodate that for sure. If you want to join our March course, there is sign up links in the comment section. If you also want to get on our email list, just go to fortodaysagingwoman.com. It's just like it's printed everywhere with the FOR, today's with the S, Aging Woman. You can sign up for our email list and you can check out some of the courses that we have to offer there as well. Just a little update, we are still in the works of doing the advanced course. We think we're going to be able to pull it off in March. We have some really cool ideas about how we're going to launch it out, so just stay tuned. We're working on it for sure. And then we also are going to have some information in our graduates email box over the course of this next week with the really cool invitation that we are super, super excited to be able to roll out and offer to all of our graduate course members as well. So make sure you're getting our emails for sure, because we've got lots of information coming your way. Have a great rest of your day. If you're feeling like you just need a little boost and maybe a little enthusiasm to get you through your week, or maybe to get you through your Valentine's Day, try to work in a nice long clean fast and see if you can tap into a little bit of that energized sense of calm that your body is just so amazing at producing, and then take advantage of it while you're there. Have a good rest of your Monday. I'll see you guys on Wednesday.